Why should it take the French 5 years to build a nuclear power plants and us 10 or more? And by the way, the French now reprocess their spent nuclear fuel. We can do that. We can do that. 80% of the French electricity is generated by nuclear power. Now, we always want to be like the French, but the fact is, by the way, in case you missed it, we now have a pro-American president of France, which shows if you live long enough, anything can happen in the world. But the fact is, we need nuclear power. But we need all of the above. We need wind, tide, solar. We're a better place for solar than New Mexico and Arizona. Wind, tide, solar, nuclear, natural gas. We need all the above. America sits on the largest reserves of coal in the world. We can develop clean coal technology and become independent. We cannot afford this. We cannot afford this. And you know, a lot of times I hear that, you know, we can't do this. We can't reprocess. We can't store. We can't build nuclear power plants. We can't drill offshore. We can't do this. We can't. That's not America. That's not what America's all about. We've met every challenge, and we can do it, and we will do it. And as president, we will do it. Well, so anyway, Senator Obama thinks that raising taxes on oil is going to bring down the price at the pump. He's claiming that putting air in your tires is the equivalent of new offshore drilling. Now, that's not an energy plan, that's a public service announcement. And I'm all for it, by the way, but to think that it's going to replace offshore drilling, obviously, is not something we agreed to. And again, biofuels, others, and finally, we're going to solve this problem, as I said, by all of the above. Now, on Iraq, Senator Obama says he wants peace, but he still opposes a surge that succeeded. He opposed the surge. He said that it wouldn't work. He announced his policy towards Iraq the day before he left, for the first time in over 900 days, to visit Iraq, and then refuses to acknowledge that the surge has succeeded. Remarkable. Remarkable. I mean, no rational observer could go to Iraq and see what we've succeeded in doing in the last 2 years and say that the surge hasn't succeeded. That's what this is all about, my friends. This is what it's all about, securing our nation. Even in retrospect, with all we know today, he'd still choose the path of retreat and failure. You know, yesterday, Senator Obama got a little testy on this issue. He said, I'm questioning his patriotism. Let me be very clear. I am not questioning his patriotism. I am questioning his judgment. I am questioning his judgment. Senator Obama has made it clear he values withdrawal from Iraq above victory in Iraq. Even today, with victory in sight. Over and over again, he's advocated unconditional withdrawal, regardless of the facts on the ground, and he voted against funding for troops in combat after he said it would be wrong to do so. He's made these decisions not because he doesn't love America, but because he doesn't think it matters whether America wins or loses. I'm going to end this war, and I'm going to bring them home, and they'll come home with honor and victory, leaving Iraq secured as a democratic ally in the Arab heartland. That's what I'm going to do. So beyond all the commercials and all the words and the campaign back and forth, Senator Obama's agenda can be summarized as this. Government's too big, he wants to grow it. Taxes are too high, he wants to raise them. Congress spends too much, and he proposes more. We need more energy, and he's against producing it. We're finally winning in Iraq, and he wants to forfeit. The bottom line is that Senator Obama's words, for all their eloquence and passion, doesn't mean all that much. And that's the problem with Washington. It's not just the Bush administration, and it's not just the Democratic Congress. It's that everybody in Washington says whatever it takes to get elected or to score the political point of the day. So I want to assure you, we don't need another politician in Washington who puts self-interest and political expediency ahead of problem solving. We want to start putting our country first and come together to keep American families safe and help them realize their dreams for a better life. So, with that, I'd like to stop by just saying again, when we have an energy crisis, and you're paying $3.75, $4 a gallon for gas, whatever it is, people who are the lowest income Americans are driving the furthest in the oldest automobiles, bearing a crushing blow. What does Congress do? 5-week vacation. 5-week vacation. My friends, if I were President of the United States, and when I'm President of the United States, I'll call him back to town and tell him to go to work and solve America's energy problem and start going to work for America. Do it. Do it in a bipartisan fashion. Can't we work together for the good of America? Can't we reach our hand out to each other and work together? My whole life, my friends, I've put my country first. I want to assure you, as President of the United States, I will put my country first. With that, I want to say thanks for coming, and we'd like to respond to any questions or comments that you have. And we have a person right there, if you bring the microphones. We had a microphone person, I think. Well, since we don't have a microphone person, I'll give you mine.
Thank you, sir. First, I want to say you really worked fantastic at the Reform Forum. And one of the reasons was your answers weren't memorized. Your answers weren't memorized. They were your core values. They were from your heart. And that's great. In the early 90s, the Soviet Union's economy was in shambles. And by less than 20 years later, they're a strong, dynamic, vibrant economy, building up their military with oil reserves. What is it going to take for Nancy Pelosi and Senator Reid to get out of their cone of silence, okay, and listen to you and the American people and drill here, drill now, pay less? What is it going to take for it?
Thank you very much. It may take an election. Let me just say a word. I may have missed the comment, but Russia now is a very wealthy country. They're only wealthy for one reason. One reason. Over $100 a barrel price of oil. That's the only reason why the Russian economy is strong. In fact, some of their things that they've done, driving major corporations out of their country, and some of the other measures that they're taking, makes them more and more dependent on the petrodollars. But my friends, it really is another compelling argument for us to become energy independent. We are the world's largest consumer of oil. So if we become independent, then it's obviously going to lower the price of oil. I mean, it's simple mathematics and economics. So I think that the Europeans are moving in that direction as well, because they don't like this dependency on Russian oil. But for a period of time, they're going to be. They're going to be. And so the United States of America obviously has to embark on in the path that I just mentioned. And that really does mean, again, all of the above. Natural gas is great. You may have seen Boone Pickens commercials. You should have. He's spending millions of dollars.